Yeah.
Bill here. Tell me, man. Does he really got a lot of firepower down the cellar?
Well, you heard him tell me to shut up, didn't you?
Oh, come on, Joy. This is serious.
He's got a lot.
Grenades?
Well,
What else? Flamethrowers, rifles, what?
you're gonna get us in an awful lot of trouble, man.
Guess you didn't realize it, buddy. We already in trouble. Talk to me, Joey.
Everything. He's got everything. Now go and leave me alone, Billy.
Everybody, I'm Vampy.
And I am Val.
And this is Grady Meats.
But today we're not grading things on a meat scale. Today is the start of what we're going to call the Lunch Table Confessions. And we have one of the coolest people to get that started. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce Joey from Maximum Overdrive, otherwise known as Pat Miller. Pat, thank you very much for coming on here today.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Right on. Pat, we're going to sit down. We're going to talk for a while. No holds barred. Anything you want to say, you can say it. If you want it to be censored, I'll put any little black boxes across. But before we get started, Pat, do you have any social media or websites that you want to toss out there for the fans watching?
Which will always be in the description of this video, by the way.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, sure. My Facebook fan page, and I would really appreciate it if folks want to contact me. They do that through the fan page. I will answer all messages. I promise.
I can guarantee that because that's how we got started.
I will answer more than you want to know about me. But that page is Pat Miller, Joey from Maximum Overdrive.
Fantastic. And you got a website too, don't you?
I do. And that website, you can order all the groovy merchandise that I have. I've got t-shirts for sale. They have the Dixie Boy logo on the front. They have the famous toilet scene in a cartoon form that says, you're going to get us in an awful lot of trouble, man. On the back, and it's a really cool cartoon drawing a friend of mine, Steve Curtis, did. He's a fantastic multimedia star, man.
Nice.
He's just my go-to guy.
Really cool.
It looks a lot like a Liechtenstein painting. It really does.
Okay.
It's a cartoon thing, but it's got a really good quality to it.
Nice.
I've got mugs from the Dixie Boy. I've got pictures that you can get if you want an autograph. I can personalize it for you. I can hook you up with a poster if I can figure out how to ship them. I've got to find some tubes that they'll fit in.
Yeah.
The struggles are real, folks.
Yeah. I'm married to a mailman.
And I think that's about it right now. Oh, I've got a couple of travel mugs left too, but those, I think I've got 5 or 6 of those left is all I've got of those.
Well, definitely, guys, if that's something you're interested, which I know people watching this will be, limited quantities of stuff. So go ahead and jump in there and get what you can.
And just so y'all know, Vampy already took advantage. I will be getting a t-shirt and mugs, and I will model the crap out of them on Facebook just for you.
Yeah, and I will get that order filled ASAP.
No worries.
I apologize for the tardiness. I'm better than that.
We've been talking for a little bit now. I knew you were busy. I was like, yeah, that's fine.
Well,
Look at me.
Pat, I know that last week, or at least last week when we're recording right now, you had a really big event to go to. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, pictures
Okay.
are cool.
It was an event on June 19th. And if you read the crawler on the movie, you'll know the significance of the date.
Yep.
And it was on set, or what was left of the set, at the Dixie Boy, original Dixie Boy. And the only thing that was left, and it's built up, I couldn't believe how much this place is built up. It's only been 36 years, so, whatever. And they showed the movie on the side of the building that was actually one of the buildings that was in the movie.
That's amazing.
So awesome.
The most surreal thing. They had a screen set up, and the wind picked up to an astronomical amount. I mean, it was like, what is going to happen here? The tents were like blowing sideways. So they took
wow.
And this guy pulls out a 4x6 French Maximum Overdrive poster he wants me to sign. and it's flapping in the wind like a bed sheet. Like, this thing is going to be in shreds.
Doesn't care as long as he gets your signature.
I was panicking for the guy because I don't want to tear somebody's stuff up. Just
right.
I'm already vandalizing it with my signature, so But and they showed the movie on the side of the building, and it was just, and I was kind of dreading the situation because I hadn't been back in probably 30 years.
Right.
Wow.
But I actually sat there watching people watch the movie, and it wasn't there wasn't a lot of talking, there wasn't a lot of stirring around. These people were glued, man, like into it.
Oh yeah.
And I was sitting there thinking, and it was like, it was surreal because I was watching this stuff that had happened 36 years ago. It was 35 years when it was released, 36 we filmed it. And I was watching this thinking, I actually had a little smile on my face, which is, if anybody knows me, that doesn't happen very often.
That's awesome. That's real awesome.
Yeah. It was kind of a surreal little happy time.
Well,
I'm nowhere near Val. I'm nowhere near Pat. I'm in the Chicago suburbs, and I'm like, where is this over here, please? Because I would have been there.
Well, yeah, if people don't know, Pat and I are hours from each other. I think less than 3 hours, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're not very far, and there definitely will be a meeting in the flesh not too long from now, because you're going to be going to a convention called CreepyCon in Knoxville, Tennessee, and that's going to be in August, right?
August 20th through 22nd, I believe, are the dates on that. Yeah,
absolutely. And
I was going to try to be there, but unfortunately, father-in-law is coming in. No offense to my father-in-law.
Well, one half of Grady Meat will be there, and there will be pictures and
that's okay,
all
because you're
kinds
coming
of
to
other
Chicago,
stuff.
and I'm going to make you come by and see me.
Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to do this for you, Vampy. We're going to go ahead. He and I will take pictures.
Yes.
We might do another little Zoom thing or something for you and make you feel like you're there.
There you
awesome.
go.
I love that.
Let's dive right into this. Vampy, why don't you go ahead and get us started with your first question for Pat?
Oh my gosh, what was my first question? I just blanked because I'm so excited. No, I'm kidding. I know what my question was. So my question really was, what's it like to be in a movie that is a cult classic? You're recognizable. I've told friends about this, and they knew exactly who you were.
Well, let me put it. This may be the most disappointing answer to this question.
No, that's fine. Disappoint me. I don't care.
True story. Okay. 36 years ago, this was a great gig. Okay. It got me my SAG card. I met some guys who are still my friends to this day. So lifelong friends. And it was just another job. And I had literally, you're not gonna believe this, but I don't lie to people. I had literally no idea until June 30th of 2019 that this movie was even a cult classic.
Really? That's surprising.
Not really. With the advent of social media and such, people find each other.
I was sitting at work, and the guy that owns the Goblin Head, the reconstructed Goblin Head.
Yep.
I like to give him a hard time about. I say, yeah, he's the guy that owns a third of the Goblin Head. Because the eyes and the right ear were the only thing that were left on that thing.
Oh wow!
The rest
Wow.
of it had to be resculpted. Yeah, had to be reformed. And he said, "Oh, I got to have you down here right now." And I said, "Well, how do you even know I'm here? How do you not even know where? I know where you are." He was in Kingsport, Tennessee. Okay,
Not very far from me.
which is even despite what IMDb says, that's a whole nother story.
Right. I want to talk about that.
Which is where I was born. Okay, I was born in Kingsport. And he said, "I need you down here right now, man." I said, "I can't leave. I'm working, man. This is my day. I have a job." He said, "Well, can you come down tomorrow?" I said, "Sure, I might." And he just kept on and kept on and kept on. And to his credit, he got a bunch of pictures made. I didn't even know. I mean, I just was going to go down to look at what he'd done with the Goblin Head and that sort of thing. And he had pictures there for me to sign, and people started buying pictures. I'm like, what the heck is this, man? I had no clue. So that's when I figured it out, that, there might be actually something to this movie.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
to dive into that a little bit, let's kind of rewind all the way back to when you first felt like you wanted to be an actor. What was the reason for that? What's the story behind that? You becoming an actor and then your first official gig.
I guess first grade.
Okay.
Fair. That's very fair.
I was in an operetta.
Mm-hmm.
It's everybody's kid wants to be, world famous,
Right.
And I mean, I just dug it. I played a bear.
Right on.
And just dug the whole thing, I did not enjoy the makeup and the lipstick as a 6-year-old, but and then from then on, I just sort of I didn't get an opportunity to do any acting until I was a junior in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I was not real popular in high school.
I feel
same
that.
here.
Yeah.
I was a teacher's kid, and the teachers were harder on me than they should have been because I was a teacher's kid. They expected more out of me,
Mm-hmm.
which their mistake.
Exactly.
The kids thought I had it made because, I was a teacher's kid. I could do no wrong. Well, and so I got to do the junior play there, and I played a shopkeeper, a German shopkeeper, in a play called Fur, Feathers, and Lady Luck.
Okay.
And, I just dove into the whole German accent, Hogan's Heroes and the whole, real bad, German accent, This is my Liebsten, and all this stuff. And people are like, "That was so cool, man. How did you do that? What'd you do to your voice, man?" And I'm like, okay, boy, these people, okay, no wonder I don't fit in with these folks. But then I went to college, and I really didn't want to go to college. And it was about 2 years into one college, I went to another college, and I took a theater appreciation class.
Right on.
And the professor in there was also one of the directors at the college. And he put me in my first show. And from after that, I was hooked.
Nice. Yeah. There's nothing like being on stage in front of an audience, I have to admit. I haven't done it in many years, by the way, people, but
yeah, live is much better than film, because film you have to wait to see the reaction, and people will interject fart sounds into your act. But that's why I like live so much.
Yeah.
And I got to work with some really good people too. They had a guest artist program at college or university I went to, and I got to work with John Amos. I got to work with Bill Daly.
Wow.
Who was really, really the sweetest man. He took probably 2.5 hours out of his day one day we were working on a show called HMS Pinafore.
Yeah, I know that one.
Gilbert and Sullivan. Yeah. I was Dick Deadeye. And
I was a backstage manager, people.
very good. And Bill Daly, I told him I wanted to be a comic, and I knew he was, had started out as a comic, and he was big friends with Bob Newhart, and
Right on.
back in the early days. And he was just such a sweet, sweet man. And he told me about his son Patrick, and so I thought, well, named him after me, did you? And he was just a hoot and a half, man. He was a funny man, and just a sweetheart. He really was. And I owe a lot of he made things a whole lot easier for me because I listened to him and avoided some horrible pitfalls that I would have probably fallen into had I not had the mentorship and his guidance.
Nice. Okay. So I know you were in you had bit parts in movies before Maximum Overdrive. Is that correct? Right.
Yes.
And I know one of those movies was Red Heat. Is that right?
No, that's some IMDb.
That's incorrect. That's right. See, so that's something we'll get into. What was the one where you were a bartender?
Raw Deal.
Raw Deal. That's right. Raw Deal.
Did that after Maximum Overdrive.
Did you? Okay. I thought that was before.
I'll tell you why I did that. Are you familiar with the role?
A little bit. I know it's a Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I didn't want to get typecast as a goober.
Mm-hmm.
As the, you're going to get us an awful lot of trouble, man.
Right.
So in Raw Deal, I was a transvestite bartender.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
The credit was Kink's cashier. One of the greatest compliments to my ability as an actor came from the still photographer from both Maximum Overdrive and Raw Deal. The fellow's name was Jurgen, whose last name I hate that because he's a very nice man. As a matter of fact, the publicity shot I still use, Jurgen took with me in the Happy Trip.
Okay.
And I was in drag and in character and the whole thing. And I walked up to him during the day. He was running around taking still shots of the whole deal. I said, "Hey, Jurgen." And he just stopped and he looked and he did like a double take. And he said, "Oh, it is you." All right. Okay. Good.
Nice. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and dive in right into how and why you chose the role of Joey for Maximum Overdrive. How did that take place?
If you did choose it.
I did not choose it.
Okay.
It chose me. And there's a good story there. Are you sure you haven't done research here on this stuff?
I've done quite a bit of it, but I want to be able to let you tell it instead of me telling it.
I will say Maximum Overdrive is Val's number one favorite movie. He watches it multiple times a year.
All summer long. It starts my summer and it ends my summer.
What did I just get you for your birthday?
Oh, yeah. Let me show you that real quick before you go into anything. So I don't know if you'll remember, but in the game room where the one dude was electrocuted.
You know who that actor is?
Yeah, I can't remember his name, though, but he's in the Mandalorian.
Oh, you better remember his name. He's freaking hot now.
Yeah, he was in the Mandalorian. He was in Breaking Bad.
Yeah, Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Well, in the game room, there was this clock up there. It was this Winston cigarettes clock. And I don't have the original one, but I have one that's just like it.
That's amazing.
This is how best friends work. He was like, "Look what I found on eBay." I'm like, "Great, what's your address?"
Look at this thing.
Because I owe you a gift.
The same type of clock that was in the game room.
He was so excited.
Exactly.
Yep. Same brand and everything.
Yeah.
And on the back it says Visual Marketing Incorporated, 1986.
Wow.
Yeah. And I found that on eBay, sent Vampy the link, and lo and
Vampy
behold, she bought it and it got sent to me.
It's because I know my friend. He was sitting there going, "Should I? Shouldn't I? Should I? Shouldn't I?" I'm like, "I owe you your birthday gift. You should."
Right.
So we're done.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you did that. That's wonderful.
That's how much like this movie really means to him.
Oh, you have no idea. I paused it on there. I said, hey, look what I found. I also found it on eBay. She's like, send me the link. Here you go. Okay, it's in the mail. Okay.
That's why you love me.
Yeah. But anyways, tell us a story about how the role of Joey chose you.
Okay. Yeah. I had done some. Let me back up just a little bit more here.
Okay.
The college, I did an extra role, speaking extra, featured extra role in a movie called The River with Sissy Spacek and Mel Gibson.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's a little quick thing, but I'm in the auction scene, banging on the hood of a tractor, yelling, "No sale, no sale." Okay, that was the start. And I got paid, I think it was $86 for that.
Wow.
And I took a picture of the check, and framed it for a long time because that was, I had a vision,
Right.
that was kind of on my vision board. And then I moved to North Carolina, hung out with some friends who were very gracious to let me stay with them through all my insanity of trying to work part-time jobs, do comedy at night. And anyway, and then I did. I had auditioned for a couple other things. I was doing comedy at a place called the Comedy Inn, which is now the Slow Lane on Independence Boulevard. It got taken out by expansion. And a guy named Chuck Eisen saw me do a show there one night, and he said, he came up to me after the show and he said, "Hey, I'm Chuck Eisen and I'm a producer." And I said, "Yeah, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Muhammad Ali and I'm the Pope." Had no idea this guy was for real, because you get all these kind of
Right.
fools after the show sometimes. And he said, "No." I said, "Well, whatever." So I go over to then Earl Owensby Studios for an audition, and that thing was called New Girl on Campus. And it was an 80s drama, 80s, not drama, but a drag comedy. They put the guy in the dress, and he's like the star player for the basketball team.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And I got to play the, as I call it, the Bluto part for the fraternity boy.
Okay.
Animal House. All right.
And only it was a lot worse. There's one decent scene in it, and it's available on YouTube. It's called New Girl Webcast or Webisodes or something like that. And I pick a friend of mine up. There's another comedian named Willie Stratford Jr. I pick him up after I chug a beer.
Mm-hmm.
I open it. I literally chugged the beer. Okay. And we did about 6 or 7 takes of this. I said, "Guys, come on, we got to do this, because I'm starting to feel this a little bit, And but that's the one good scene I was kind of proud of in the movie. That went well. The rest of it was kind of yeah. So I was doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
So when Maximum Overdrive audition came up, I didn't. Did I have it? Yeah, I did have an agent by then, because I had done all these. I would try to get an agent, and nothing was working for me. Couldn't get anybody interested. Well, I got New Girl. I got The River. I got The River, New Girl, and then I got Rock and Roll Road Trip.
Okay.
And by this time, the agencies were like, "Hey, we're missing 15% of this money here." So I got an agent, and they got me the audition for Maximum Overdrive.
Nice.
So I drive from Charlotte to Wilmington on 74, which is going right by where the Dixie Boy truck stop was.
Mm-hmm.
And so I go into this open cattle call audition, at DEG Studios, which is on 23rd Street there in Wilmington. And I go in, they give me the sides, the lines to read. I go in, I read them. They said, "Thank you very much." I walk out the door. I'm going out to my car thinking, well, that was just kind of,
A waste of
3.5
time.
hour trip wasted, whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
So all of a sudden, this guy comes screaming out my name in the parking lot. And I said, "Yeah, I'm over here." He said, "Come back in. They want to read you again." So I go back in there, and I had cowboy boots on for the audition because I was for like truck drivers, you know. They weren't looking for truck driver types. So I dressed, you know, with the cowboy boots. So by that point, I had one shoe on and one boot on. So I just took the other boot off and put my tennis shoes back on, and went back in there. I figured through it, you know. And they had me read the exact same thing, the exact piece again. And they said, okay, same deal. Thank you very much. And I didn't really pay any more attention to it. And being 25, I was 25. Yeah, 25 then. And I didn't really pay much attention to anything except there was this really tremendously fabulous, hot blonde lady in there who turned out to be Martha Schumacher, who was Dino's wife. Fat boy, you got a chance. And then there was a couple other people in the room. There was one guy in there, but I was like, this is so weird. So I get back in the car. I'm driving back on 74. And I just kept thinking, God, that was a weird audition. God, that was strange. I've never had, golly, that was just so weird. That guy was just goofy. That guy was weird. That guy was Stephen King. What threw me was he in the commercials for the American Express card at that time, he had the full beard.
Okay.
Clean shaven. So I said, wow, this is crazy. So I was just on top of the moon. I got out. I was driving an 85 Ford Escort, brand new Escort. I pulled that thing off the side of 74 and I was running around doing a happy dance around the car. In, I think it was Laurinburg, Laurinburg, North Carolina, I think was the name of the place. I remember I passed it going in. I said, oh, there's the spot right there. So how that came to be after the fact, I found this out, was they had already cast, this is according to legend, I don't have this in fact, but there was a fellow named Marty who they had already cast in the role.
Of Joey?
Of Joey.
Oh, okay.
So evidently Stephen liked me well enough, and Martha did not, because evidently I was trying to hit on her, so I don't remember it. I wasn't hitting on her. I was just like, good, bless America. Anyway, they kept Marty in the movie and gave me the role of Joey.
Huh. Wow. So what role did he take instead?
Okay. You remember the drawbridge scene?
Yes.
Of course.
Okay. And you know Marla Maples, who was married to Donald Trump, was in the car.
Yep.
Okay. He was in the car with her. And she's the guy that jumps out of the car in the tennis whites and falls in the pile of watermelons.
He was going to be Joey before you took that. I'm very glad you took that position instead of him.
I am as well.
It's like serendipity, isn't it?
I'm sorry?
It's like serendipity. Like, here's all these like actions that happened, but because Stephen King liked me better in that role, yay.
Yeah, and so, I mean, Stephen King was nothing but nice to me. I mean, nothing but nice. First day on the set, I'll tell you this little quick story.
Okay.
First day on the set, we were parked. Our trailers were back behind the Dixie Boy, and they would drive us up to set in a van. And the first day I was there, on set, I rolled up in the van, jump out, and Stephen King sitting there in one of those two green metal chairs that on the Dixie Boy porch that I was sitting in, and J.C. Quinn and I were sitting in when we first see the Goblin, Happy Toys truck.
Yep.
And he's working on some papers, and being a fan of Creep Show, which I was. I walked.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I have not said another word to the man. Since the audition, I didn't even say anything to him in the audition. And I walked up to him and I go, he's just sitting there, working on papers. I go, Jody Verrill, you lunkhead, without missing a beat. He didn't even stop the pen hardly. He goes, Meteor shit.
That's fantastic.
And
I love that.
so I knew it was going to be all right from then on. That was going to be all right.
Right on.
I told you before that I had a few friends that are huge fans of the movie and were super excited I get to talk to you. So they gave me the most boring questions, of course. My friend Cobra, who we will be.
Now, Vampy.
Yeah, I know.
Let me straighten you out here.
Okay.
There are no boring questions, only boring answers.
For anyone that doesn't know, Vampy is also a crisis counselor and cannot interview people for shit. So my friend Cobra, who will be will be doing a video with, he really just wants to know what was your favorite truck in the movie. That's all I can come up with.
My favorite truck in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just from if I didn't say the Happy Toys truck, I'd probably get shot.
No, I think his favorite, if I remember correctly, I think he liked the tow truck.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Is that? Yeah.
Bertha. Yeah.
Bertha. Yeah.
And the air starter on that truck was just amazing.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, that would be my favorite truck, I guess. But the Western Star was bad because that thing, they didn't do any sound enhancing to that thing. That thing was just bad to the bone.
Well, I mean, everything in the movie, as far as like sound for the truck goes, that's real sounds of the truck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is it strange to have to act being afraid of these types of trucks?
No, because I had spent enough time on interstates in the South that I already had a pretty fair fear of them.
It's like the Final Destination thing where there's like a truck with logs in front of you and you move to the next lane because we all saw the opening of that freaking movie.
Well, Pat, a couple of weeks ago when you and I were on the phone, you told me a story about when you were doing the scene where you said ain't full yet. Do you want to go ahead and go over that?
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that.
Oh, my God. I haven't heard about this. Wait. You guys had a phone call without me?
We had an hour-long phone conversation.
That's love right there.
We got a bromance for sure. So,
that's awesome. I'm so happy for both of you.
He didn't invite me over. So, so Vampy, you know what I'm saying? Huh? I got
a whole room for you.
It happens.
Okay. Yep. All right. So what happened, this film had the worst stunt coordinators and the worst stunt layer outers, I guess.
I'm only laughing because I know what's coming.
The director of photography.
I'm gonna take a swig of my beer now before I snort it, apparently.
Yeah, you better. So the director of photography lost an eye.
Whoa.
Yep.
Because the lawnmower threw some debris and it caught the guy in the right eye.
Which has also happened in Final Destination. Just going with that.
Yeah.
And you had the ice cream truck almost hit the cameraman and he was yanked out of the way at the nick of time.
Abrupt cut. Just the ice cream truck is sliding toward it, and then just they cut the film right there. That's because it took out a camera.
Yep.
Wow. Are we sure there wasn't a meteor like the night before this was done? Some sort of sure. I don't know, ritual that brought shit to life on set.
I'm not sure what the purpose of this was, but so here's what happened to me.
Yeah.
I'm fueling the truck, and the stunt coordinators had rigged it so when the truck pulled off, the hose would pull out of the handle. Okay, so it just leave the hose laying on the ground.
Right.
And the truck would drive off with the handle and the nozzle and everything in the tank. Well, somebody didn't take into consideration the heat of the day in North Carolina. It was like 96 or 98 with about 97% humidity.
Jeez.
Most of the time. It was August in North Carolina, in coastal North Carolina. And he said, stand here. I said, no, man, if this thing goes wrong, I'm going to get hit right here. Oh, no, this is where you need to stand. I said, well, what about if I stand over here? No, you can't do this. Stand right here. I said, okay, I'm standing right here where you tell me to. The truck fires up. The truck drives off. The hose does not come out of the handle.
No.
There's more pressure, more pressure, more pressure. The nozzle snaps off in the tank, leaving the 5 or 6 pound metal projectile coming straight at me, and it hit me in Little Elvis and the Twins.
Oh God! No, no, I'm a girl, and that hurts, people.
I dropped like a sack of rocks.
Well, yeah, I would assume so.
So there's another abrupt cut right there.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was a one taker and done.
yeah, you're like, I'm not gonna sit here for another take of this because you know what? One hit was good.
But there's more to that,
It
though.
wasn't really good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not done. Oh God.
No, there's more.
So I'm there. I'm just laying there, like, just on the ground, writhing in pain.
Right.
And so everybody's coming over there. The stunt coordinators didn't seem to care. Nobody seemed to care.
They got the shot. That's all they cared about.
Yeah, exactly. We got the shot. Screw you, actor boy. And so they were like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And then, like, the production people are running over there to see if I'm okay.
Mm.
And well, not exactly, but let's endeavor to persevere here. They actually treated me pretty well after this, after taking one for the team, so to speak. I got chiropractic treatments, and they did an ultrasound.
Holy shit!
Of my,
they have to.
To make sure the equipment still functioned or whatever.
Oh my God!
And, the ultrasound was kind of fun because they used this wand and they put gel on the wand.
Yes.
So it was like
they do.
This was like a nut rub, man.
Oh my God!
Yeah, okay, I liked it. And so they sent me to chiropractic treatments and this, that, and the other. And after the 4th or 5th chiropractic treatment, I said, "Can we go back to that nut rub lady again?"
That's nice. That's a bonus, right?
Yeah. So, but no, oh my God, that was awful. And then after I got my voice back, because I was like, "Hi guys, okay." They did the shot, with the green stuff dripping out of the little plastic part of the nozzle that was left.
Yeah.
So that's why in a lot of the stuff that I use for merchandise, I use that just because I figure I better get paid for my pain.
Right.
It's
Wow.
to suffering for your art, I guess.
Right.
Wow. Well, I mean, to Elvis and the Twins. Wow.
Were there other questions other than what was my favorite truck?
They didn't tell me. Hold on, let me go on Discord. Because they're on Discord right now, and they were the ones where I was like, "Hey, like, I'm doing this in an hour," and they were really super excited. Hold on, let me mute myself in here and give me.
Well, when I asked my role-playing group if they had any questions, my buddy Mason was being kind of a wiener. And I've known the kid for 10 years. He's a good guy, but I said, "Hey, I'm going to be doing an interview with Pat Miller from Maximum Overdrive." I said, "If you guys have any questions, put them here." And Mason, this is for you. He wants me to casually ask your penis size.
Hi, I would like you all to know that I did not mute in Discord, and they all fucking heard that. Thank you very much. I will be right back, people. I'm gonna leave the crew. Hold that question. What the fuck?
Mason, you done fucked everything up.
Oh, I
So
need to wait to answer that, huh? Okay.
There you go. Yeah, that's the question he wanted to ask. I said, "Okay, buddy, you got it."
Thank you, Sam. All they heard was, "What is your penis size?" Because that's when I clicked into Discord. Now they're like, "Well, that's our question."
That's amazing. That's amazing.
That was what the wanted to know.
That's what my friend Mason wanted to know. He said,
Wow,
casually ask. So that's as
should've, like-
casual as it can get.
I should have bounced for 30 seconds earlier.
Pat, you don't have to answer that
No,
if you don't
it's
want to.
Oh,
obviously.
I'd be happy to answer it. Like the president, the former president said, I got no complaints.
There you go. Mason, direct from Pat Miller himself. No complaints, sir. Filming Maximum Overdrive, working with the trucks and the Dixie Boy, and knowing that the Dixie Boy is obviously a set piece and stuff like that, but you had all the truckers come in that would stop there that didn't know that. How did something like that go? Like if you were on set that day and things like that took place?
They literally had to block 74 for like while they were shooting, while we were shooting, because trucks would come by thinking it was a full service truck stop.
Right.
Did it too well.
Yeah, and the thing it was really well built. You know, the Italians were on the set design team, and they built that truck stop to use. Then they shot it up for the daytime scenes. Then they built it back for the nighttime scenes, and then they blew the whole thing up in the end.
Wow.
So they actually built it twice. Yeah. By the end of the film, Dino De Laurentiis was less than thrilled with the project.
Mhm.
And I can't remember the exact ending, but I think there's a lot of editing going on. By the time we got to the docks or the pier where the sailboat was, we had no lights in our trailers, no craft services. Dino was done, which, you know, kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, but, you know, what are you going to do?
Right.
You know, it was his football and his field, so we better play, you know?
Right.
And the thing that really told me that it was, that he didn't care anymore, and I think nobody else did on the production either. If you'll look when we're sailing off on the sailboat,
yep,
that's supposed to be Steve Gayton, who was portrayed by Barry Bell in the movie. And until the last final shot, that is the guy who owned the boat.
Interesting.
And they didn't even try to shoot him from the side. They looked similar.
Wow.
Now they could have put a fuzzier haircut on Dave Calstrip, who was the guy that owned the boat. Very nice guy. I mean, Piedmont Airlines pilot. I haven't seen him in 36 years either, or 35 years. But he was a very nice person. Actually, he and his wife took me out on that boat after the shoot was over.
Nice.
And that I said, yeah, I can get used to this sailing stuff. And, you know, I was thinking, oh, yeah, this is going to be cool. But by the time, you know, I got around to sailing again, I have yet to do it. So anybody out there with a sailboat want to take a fat man out for a spin?
Well, let me ask you this. So working with the likes of Stephen King and Pat Hinkle and Emilio Estevez and the many other talented actors and actresses on the film, how was that like? I mean, was that intimidating to you coming in there, especially with people like Pat Hinkle and Emilio Estevez and Stephen King, or was it just, like you said earlier, just another job at the time?
Well, you know, it probably should have been. It probably should have been extremely intimidating. But I'm not known for being a very bright guy. And I guess I was so young and dumb and full of myself that it didn't really, you know, I guess that was kind of a blessing.
Okay.
That I didn't get intimidated. And it really didn't bother me. Now, but there were, you know, there was some good work I did in that movie, I think. You know, there's a couple scenes that I was proud of. A couple things I wish we could have reshot. But, you know, that's the breaks.
Right.
That's why I prefer live to film, because, you know, you're in charge of the product more.
Well, diving into that a little bit, what were some of the scenes that you weren't too happy with and you would have liked to have redone or done differently?
having the farts added at the toilet scene, that was something that was beyond my control. I was going for an effect there, but that wasn't it. But he did what he did, so that's cool. There were just a couple of a couple of reactions, because a lot of this, I'll just tell tales out of school here a little bit. A lot of this was a lot of reaction, which is what acting is.
Right.
Acting is reacting. So it was a course in reacting, because we were several of us in the film referred to ourselves as members of WAG, Window Actors Guild, because we were always looking at the damn window.
I think it's like an actor thing. What do I do with my eyes, and what do I do with my hands?
Well, you don't even worry about that. You just, it's all. It was like shooting headshots, man. It was, you didn't have to worry about anything else about your body, just from your chest up.
Yep.
There's a couple things. I mean, when I'm trying to stop Duncan from going out to get Deke, that was a scene I was kind of, that was kind of some work I was pretty happy with.
Right on.
It came across as pretty legitimate and real.
Yeah.
But then there was this other stuff. Of course, that whole movie had a camp and comedy vibe to it that I completely missed out on when we were.
Can you even notice that when you're filming it until you see the final product?
No.
Yeah.
There's so much done in film in the editing and the way it's cut that you don't have hardly any control over the product at all.
Right.
See, and I get how it feels like a black comedy now, but I don't get that. Like when I watch the movie, I see comedy elements in the movie, but I see it more as what it was intended to be, which is a horror.
Sorry,
with
Aria
comedy underneath. I know.
Aria keeps disappearing and reappearing. It's like the funniest thing ever to me. I'm sorry.
Right. But that's how I see the film when I watch it. I know a lot of people dig on it and they're like, oh, it's a comedy. Well, it actually isn't a comedy. It's a fucking horror movie, because people get smushed and splattered. And
if you can still laugh when a little leaguer, or well, you can't say that, when a youth baseball player gets run over by a steamroller,
right,
then you're probably too sick to be, let out loose by yourself.
Well, for anyone that's watched our Maximum Overdrive video, I do laugh at that part, and sorry, not sorry.
Well, let me ask you about that a little bit. So Pat, you are on the Maximum Overdrive Facebook page. You post on there
it's a very hopping
regularly.
page.
Yeah.
Like an extremely hopping page for Facebook.
And one of the big things that gets mentioned from time to time is this director's cut of the film. Have you ever seen anything like that?
It's like an urban legend at this point.
Negative. No director's cut that I'm aware of. No George Romero puking.
Right.
Didn't see George Romero on the set. If it was, he was in disguise. So yeah, a lot of that stuff needs just to be debunked and go.
Exactly.
There are so many urban legends regarding cult classic movies and B horror movies. It's weird.
Well, I mean, I know that, or I'm pretty confident that there was a scene where when the kid got run over by the steamroller, they had the blood bag in the dummy and it actually burst and popped, and there was the smear on the roller itself. I know that happened.
Yeah, that happened, and yes, it did.
Yeah.
And had that been left in the movie, they were battling keeping it from being an X-rated movie.
Yeah, because of that in particular.
Because of the gore.
Yeah.
Because of the gore.
Yeah. This is a no offense, people, but like, welcome to the 80s. Like, horror movies these days can get away with a lot more an R rating or PG-13 rating than they could in the 80s.
Right.
Which is interesting, because when I watched like horror movies from my youth from the 80s, you got away with a lot more swears than they do today.
One more question about the director's cut that doesn't exist. With that,
I've just never seen it.
Right.
Urban
Well, with that,
legends.
when you before you did press or anything like that, were you a part of any sort of screening process where you watched a mostly cut product of the film or the final cut of the film or anything like that?
They flew me to New York to do some looping.
Mm-hmm.
And the unfortunate thing was they decided to do this in the middle of the winter.
Oof.
Oh, yeah. Well,
And
Chicago.
I was fighting laryngitis because I was trying to work, the road doing comedy and talking for a living. And I had no voice. So I went in and had hot water and lemon and honey.
Yeah.
And I would get my voice back enough to do the looping. So I didn't see a whole lot of the film other than what we were looping, which is where you catch up the sound because either a plane flew over and they lost the sound or whatever, and you just had to go in and they clip it in for those folks who may not know. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of actors go in post and do voiceovers and stuff of their own work just to get
Yeah, that was kind of harrowing because I wasn't sure my voice was going to make it, but we did. Funny story came out of that too, if you got time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
We got nothing but time. Are you kidding me?
We're walking down the hall in the building from the studio down to the restroom, and I'm talking to Stephen King, and I said, "Hey, I just got a question for you." I said, "You know those Bachman books that you're doing, right?" He said, "Yeah, I know those books." It's like Chris Farley's character. You know that time when you were,
that was cool.
Yeah, that was so cool.
Oh my God. I referenced that skit last week to Val, where he's like, "How do you think you're gonna be in the interview?" When we talked to Pat Miller, I'm like, "I really like that Chris Farley skit." And you're like, and he didn't believe me, and I am actually sitting here all like stiff, like, "That's so awesome."
Hey, just don't be all stiff, man. That's not there. I'm just me. I mean, I
already invited you to my house in my guest room. I think we're BFFs now.
We are BFFs, and that's the way I like it. I like to have people that you're friendly and just relax and chill and being themselves. But anyway, so we're walking down the hall, and I mentioned the Bachman books, and then I also mentioned Thinner.
Oh God, yeah.
And I said, hey, if you guys ever decide to make that into a movie, I'd really love to audition for that role.
Val, do you know what that book is?
Oh yeah, I've seen the movie.
Okay,
too. I've read the book and seen the movie.
Sure. For anyone that doesn't know, spoiler spam here. Basically, there's a curse placed on a person where the more they eat, the more weight they lose until they waste away nothing. So that was actually the commercial at the time. It was like.
So he says, now let me set this up. We're walking down the hall toward the men's room, and he said, "You mean you would be willing to lose 150 pounds for a film role?" I said, "Man, I would go cut the crap off myself and with a rusty knife to try this." And right as we hit the restroom door, he backs into the restroom door and he says, "Oh, that'd be easy for you. Just cut off your head." And then he pops the door open with his backside and goes, and it all goes out. I'm like, "You son of a," he timed that.
Well, all right, guys. We'll go ahead and call it a night. Pat, it has been absolutely amazing.
Oh my God,
getting the chance to really sit down and talk to you about this and get a little bit of a snippet into your acting career, what got you started, and Maximum Overdrive itself, which I know is what people are super interested in.
And even learning more about like the aftermath of being in that movie.
Absolutely.
And just so anyone doesn't know, when Val told me this was happening, I'm like, we have to do the Wayne's World thing where you just go, "We're not worthy. We're not worthy." Because I got so excited when he told me this was happening. I was like, oh man.
Well, Pat,
Pat knows we only have 40 subscribers, right?
I'm sorry, say again.
I was like, we only have like 43 subscribers, right?
That's fine. I don't care. I will reach everybody, 43 people at a time. It's
there
fine.
you go.
Oh,
Well,
so
Pat, let
great.
me ask you this. Would you be happy to come back and sit down for another time to sit down and spin some tales and talk about some other stuff?
Is water wet?
Well,
Well, I hope so, because I did take a shower today.
that is a very good question, and I will answer that with another question. Maybe?
Oh, God.
Well, it is. Yeah, I will be happy to, man. Thanks. You guys are a hoot.
Oh,
And
We have established that you guys have a bromance, and he is my new BFF. I got a bed.
this is
We
what
are
you
all-
call
we are
a
all,
triangle.
Triangle.
we are all kindred spirits.
Oh yeah, this has been fun. I want to do
And,
this again.
What was your guy's name again that asked me the question? The question that stopped filming there for a second.
Oh, Mason.
Mason. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Yes, question.
Yeah. I'll just tell you a story. When I was in California, I used to work a lot at the Comedy Store,
Mhm.
and a guy named Ron Jeremy used to hang out there.
Ooh,
I have met Ron Jeremy.
the hedgehog himself.
Exactly. And just tell Mason that Ron Jeremy wanted to get in a measuring contest with me one night, and I just said, "Hey, well, I'll just show you enough to win, and I got to go."
No, I'm okay. I'm not okay. That's the best thing ever. Holy shit.
That's fantastic.
Oh my God. Please let that be the beginning of this video, Val.
Ah. Well, Pat,
Oh, I love it.
before we get out of here, why don't you go ahead and plug your social media and your website one more time? And there was also a fan of yours that did a really cool painting for you that you want to talk about real quick too.
Yeah. I've got a watercolor poster. It's the original watercolor she did for me, and I have it. Her name is Mina Mirkwood, and she does incredible art. One of the most talented people that I happen to know personally.
Mhm.
And she's just she's sort of a recluse, which makes her even more intriguing to me. And I actually went to high school with her mom.
Oh wow.
Everything in my life kind of has deep roots, or as Vampy said, is serendipitous, which is kind of the way I like my life to be. And she does this painting, and I have I think they're 11 by 17 posters of that. And if you want to order one of those, they're on the website, and the website is jpatrickmiller.com.
Mm-hmm.
jpatrickmiller.com, and it's all lowercase. I think, I don't even know now. Or maybe that's just an email thing. I don't. Anyway, it's jpatrickmiller.com.
Vampy will put a link.
Yep.
And then my Facebook page is Pat Miller, Joey from Maximum Overdrive, and no .com there. And if you like this interview, and there's 43 followers, I expect at least 21 new likes on Facebook when this thing hits, because you owe it to me.
That would be amazing.
People, I'm pouring my heart and soul out here for you.
No,
Give it to me. Give me a like. Could you give me a like? Come on, you cheap little bastards. Give me a like.
Go like to Joey from Maximum Overdrive and like, comment, subscribe here.
Right, absolutely.
Otherwise, he's coming after you.
Well, once again, Pat, thank you.
Coming after anybody. I did that for a fan.
Once again, Pat, thank you very much for coming on here. It was absolutely fantastic. This was a dream come true for me to talk to somebody from Maximum Overdrive.
My pleasure. What better way to spend a Sunday evening?
Exactly, than sitting down and talking with somebody that I idolized and is now a friend. Absolutely.
Well, same here. I idolize, and we're friends to both of you now. So I idolize both of you. So thank you so much.
And that offer was legit. Like, you come to Chicago, I live about
don't
45
know
minutes
how
away.
yet to be taking it, because I've got a friend that is up there, and I've got another friend that just moved to Chicago to open a restaurant. So we will. I have great impetus to be in Chicago, and even more so now that I have met my new best friend.
There you go. Well, Vampy, before we get out of here, why don't you let people know how they can find us on social media?
Well, we're kind of everywhere. We're on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at gradyneat.com. And we are also at gradyneat@gmail.com. All of it will be down below as usual.
That's right. And if you guys have any suggestions for us or anything like that, don't hesitate to send us a link. If you want Pat to come back for an episode to watch a movie with us, by all means, let us know. Us three will discuss that after this interview is over. But beyond that, Vampy, if there's nothing else, and Pat, if there's nothing else, why don't you go ahead and take us out of here?
Well, I guess that's on me. As always, in case you forgot, I am Vampy.
I am Val, and this is Pat Miller from Maximum Overdrive.
And we are Grady Meat. And we hope to see you for the next serving. And we want you to have a good one.